What up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of the Imperfect Action Show. You already know on the Imperfect Action Show, we get busy. We give you free, that's right, free marketing and business strategy, right? Principles, lessons that you can implement into your situation in real time. And I do this because I want you to get better. And I don't want you to get better from a selfish place. I want you to get better from a passionate place because we all should just be getting better at what we do. I'm waiting for my guest to pull up, but as you know, on Imperfect Action, we don't wait for anyone. So if she's late or she doesn't come, whatever case may be, I got to deliver the value to you guys. So, excuse me. In the meantime, what I'm going to do is I'm going to send a link out to the community to let them know we are rocking, because it's important to me that people know that we live and that we here every day, Monday through Friday, giving you guys the value that you deserve to help you get to the next level, right? So boom, sent to text, we live, open Q&A. Hold on, let me make sure I'm good. Q&A. Bro, I cannot text today. Q&A on growing your business. Boom. All right, guys. Sent the text out. So the community will be up and popping in a second. So that you guys know that we are rolling. Hold on one second. I think my guest will be showing up. And I had her on a Pursuit a couple of months ago. She got an amazing brand, got an amazing story, and I wanted to bring it back on Imperfect Action because I wanted her to give you guys a sauce. So anyway, I had an amazing week, and I hope you guys had an amazing week. This weekend, I put some time and effort into growing the business, create more content. This week alone, obviously, we got 5 Imperfect Action set up for you. I got 5 pieces of content, marketing content dropping on the channel that I created. And I got a fresh On a Pursuit with one of my favorite people, Kareem Grimes. It's going to get crazy. It's going to get spicy. And we're just doing more. So first of all, Ty, Whitney, what's up? Welcome, welcome, welcome. I want to make sure you guys can hear me. If you can hear me, please drop it in the chat. Let me know in the comments below if you can hear me, because I just plugged up the mic. I think I need to add some speakers to the situation, so that might happen this week. But I definitely want to make sure you guys can hear me. It's important. So if you can hear me, just drop it in the chat. Let me know if you can hear me. What's up, community? I don't know if y'all can hear me because I don't see nothing. Okay, where you can hear me. You can hear me. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. All right, so this week I put in some work. 5 YouTube videos. Now, a lot of you guys are probably thinking, wow, that's a lot. I thought about it, man. I actually did these 5 YouTube videos in about 35, 40 minutes. So then I questioned myself, why aren't I doing more? So that's the question I have for you guys. Why aren't you doing more? What is something that you are passionate about? What is something you know that would help you in your business? And why aren't you doing more of that? What is something that you identified? Like, for instance, Ty. Ty has an amazing YouTube channel. She got a couple of Ty. If you're watching live in real time, how many videos on YouTube do you have that drop a week? Whitney has a YouTube channel. She was in my YouTube challenge. My question for Whitney is, how many YouTube videos do you drop per week? Right? Chandra. First of all, Chandra, I'm so happy for her because she just released her book and it's available for pre-sale. Whitney too, she just released her book, which is available for pre-sale. I'm so excited for these powerful women because what they did was they took their belief, they took information that they know, they packaged it up, and it's going to be coming out soon, but they took the action to put themselves in position to allow the flow of currency to happen right now. All right, so Ty, you create or produce 1 to 3 times a week. So are you dropping 1 to 3 videos a week? Is that a combination of long form, or are you doing the shorts and the shorts and the long form? Chandra, yes, you need a YouTube, especially on your topic. Whitney, when's the last time you dropped a YouTube video? So look, guys, as my guest is working on setting things up, I really want to impress upon you guys that you have to do more. You have to. You have to. Right? Be, have, do. Be, have, do, from the most powerful words of Myron Golden. Be, have, do. You could be a little and have a little by doing a little, or you can be more and have more by doing more. So, which one do you guys want? I always stress upon my clients, and this is why I cannot wait to have more people in my brand new 3.0 version of my program, is that you have to do more, people. You have to want more and do more. Hey, look who it is.
Hello.
Wow.
I could not get my desktop to work, so I just...
It's all good. It's one of my favorite people that I have yet to meet in real life.
I know. We got to make that happen next time I'm in LA.
It's definitely going to happen. So real quick, before you share who you are, what you do, and your amazing story, plus I love that you are building an entrepreneurship journey with your husband and you involving your daughter. It's amazing. It makes me feel good on the inside. But before you tell them all the amazing things about you, we talk about multiple streams of income.
Yeah.
I have been telling people, my community that's watching right now, how they need to do more. So if they want to be more and have more, they need to do more. But if they want to have a little and be a little, then you do a little. So if you guys are not happy with where you are, if you're not having a real impact that you're having, you need to figure out what you need to do to have that impact, and you need to do more of that impact. But guys, look, I'm super excited to have my guest on, Miss Alicia M. Pennington.
Yes, sir.
And you cannot forget the M, guys. She's gonna tell you to put the M there.
Because it is.
She's not gonna have you forget the M. But welcome back on one of my platforms. You were on Honor Pursuit a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
This is a brand new show, and it took me 60 episodes to get you back. So I'm super excited to have you here. So guys, look, I had to create a whole new platform and get 60 episodes in before Alicia decided to come on. So
scheduling is tough, man.
So please let them know who you are, what you do, all the amazing accomplishments that you have thus far. I think you have an amazing story that led you to entrepreneurship, a very untraditional. And then I want to get down to it, talk about these multiple streams of income.
Yeah. So my background is in sports medicine. I have a bachelor's and master's degree in athletic training, which is not personal training. It is sports medicine. I know they often get conflated.
Definitely.
And when I finished my master's, that was back in 2011. There really wasn't a lot of work opportunity. We were still coming out of the Great Recession, and I couldn't find a full-time job that really matched my needs. And so I started freelancing and gig work. There was no gig economy yet. So, the Ubers and the Airbnbs and the DoorDash, like none of that existed yet. And so for me to be freelancing and doing kind of gig work was very ahead of my time, especially for my profession. And I basically created an opportunity for myself where I networked a ton on the client side of things. So I met a bunch of people who needed per diem athletic trainers. And then a bunch of my friends saw me doing this work and were like, hey, can I get in on it? And I said, bet, So I created a staffing company. And this was back in 2012. So I've had the business now for over 10 years, and I've continued to evolve it organically. I respond to the market, and that, we came out of a great recession when this idea was birthed. And now, we've gone through the great resignation. We've seen, a tumultuous economic time in terms of workplace and workforce, and we've continued to thrive. So I think I have a unique business model in that we really do put the worker first. And again, that was something that was innovative for us. That was something that we're now seeing it become part of the zeitgeist of, what we talk about with work. And we ask people, what do we want this to look like for them? We've been asking those questions since 2012. So yeah, built that company and scaled it. Within 4 years. We were at 1 million. We do a little over 3 million every year now. And it's incredible. I love that work. And so kind of as a result of our success a couple years ago, my husband and I started doing business consulting and mentorship for other people, because we realized that our success is actually pretty rare, and the way that our minds think and our approach to it is unique. And so we wanted to help other people have the same success we've had, because it is as a result of these multiple streams of income in our life that we've reached a status of financial flexibility, and we're on our way to
I
financial.
like that financial flexibility. That's nice.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's, financial freedom is like it's all coming in. You don't have to actively work for it. We are still actively working for it. But there is a flexibility for us where, we're not concerned about where the next meal is coming from or anything like that. And, historically, that's not the case for my husband or I. We grew up in middle class, single mother situations. So, for us to have put ourselves in this position and to bring our family members and our friends alongside us, it's why we're so passionate about sharing this message of developing multiple streams of income and putting anybody else who wishes it for themselves in a position to do the same.
So I got a couple questions there, but first I want to thank you for a quick little summary, because I wanted people to just kind of understand, where you came from. If they have yet to watch our episode of Honor Pursuit, they may have missed that. So just give them a quick little run through. So when it comes to multiple streams of income, um, how many different streams do you and your husband currently have? And then could we talk about the types of streams, like active, passive, subscription, different businesses? How many streams currently do you guys have? And then what are the different types?
So I'm going to answer this in two ways.
Let's
So
do it.
with each of our businesses, we have service suites. So this is part of what I'm really passionate for anybody that's starting a business. And I know, Brendan, that you have this. It's multiple ways that you can serve someone within your business, right?
Mm.
So if we count, so within our staffing company, we have 3 different core offerings. Within our education company, we have 2 primary core offerings. Within our business mentorship business, we have 5 different offerings. So if we use each of those as a stream, we have over 13 streams of income. If we consolidate those to say our staffing company is one stream of income, our consulting and mentorship is one stream of income, our our 401ks or rental income, rental real estate is one stream of income, then we have close to like 5 or 6. So my biggest thing from a financial perspective is I want to be diversified.
Yeah.
And there is over diversification. That is a problem. If you have two, you need skin in the game with each one of them, right? And so if you're over diversified, that can be problematic. But for me, having a business, or our staffing company is in a completely different industry than our business mentorship company, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And each of those are investments in a totally different market than our 401k is. And that is invested in a completely different market than our real estate holdings are, right? So for us, it is a strategic approach to putting sums of money in reliable places that, regardless of what's happening economically or politically or socioeconomically, that we are set up to hedge against the other one.
So that's incredible. And what I hear and what I see is that, like you said, you have the different businesses, right?
Yes.
Within each business, you have the different tiers or the different ways that you can generate revenue within each one.
Yes.
So you don't just have one business that's just creating revenue one way. You have multiple businesses that are creating revenue multiple ways.
Yes.
And then the diversification would then allow you to do other things like invest in real estate or
That
other opportunities that can actually bring you even more revenue and things like that.
So let me give you an example of how this all started for us. Back in 2012, when I was starting the business, for the first 2 years of the staffing company, its creation, I was working a full-time job, as was my husband. But so I'll just use myself. I was working a full-time job. It was a job that I didn't love. It was a job that didn't challenge me. It was a job that oftentimes I was like, I just want to quit. I want to be done. This isn't fulfilling me. It's not in pursuit of my passion. But what it did, it allowed me, because it wasn't challenging, growing the business on the side was mentally stimulating enough, right? So whenever people come to us and they're like, I've got this dead end job, it pays the bills, but it doesn't challenge me, we're like, that's perfect. That's the exact place that you want to be when you're starting your business. So I was stayed in that job. It paid our bills. It, made sure that, everything was taken care of. We didn't have to stress the infant version of the side hustle, the staffing company that I was starting, with the demand of having to feed us, having to clothe us, having to house us, right? So for 2 years, I'm carrying both of them. After 2 years, I had saved about $20,000 from those first 2 years of business. And the company was now making enough for me to replace my my full-time job. So my full-time job, I was making $40,000 a year. The company was now in a place where it was generating enough income where it could pay me $40,000 a year. And at this point, I had saved $20,000 over the previous 2 years of starting the company. We used that $20,000 as a down payment on our first home. Okay. We lived in that home for less than 2 years. It was like 16 months or 18 months or 22 months, something like that. In that same amount of time, where I was stacking money on the side as well, but completely independent of that, we then sold that house and made another $25,000. So you're asking about the difference between active and passive incomes and portfolios, right? So just by living in that house and being in an area that was appreciating, we doubled our savings. So I had saved 20,000 the first 2 years. We then buy a property. Within 2 more years, we had doubled our money. So we now have $50,000, right? We take that out, we go buy a little bit bigger property. And the key here too is that we had moved from California to Arizona. And so property is a lot more accessible, but what we were paying in rent in California, we had drastically decreased in our mortgage when we came to Arizona. So it would be 3 or 4 years of us basically buying and flipping homes, living in them for right around that 2-year mark. And before we would even get up to the cost of what we were paying in rent in the LA, we were in Orange County. So anyways, by living and flipping that real estate income, we amassed several $100,000 worth of value that we never worked for, right? We never were actively soliciting clients. We weren't, those were like kind of passive income streams. And that's kind of how we did the real estate side of it.
So, question I have for you is because I feel like there's a lot of misconceptions around multiple streams of income because people,
Yeah.
people may look to do because they hear about it and it sounds good, right? So they may look to like have multiple streams of income all at the same time when you start. So
Uh,
can you talk to when someone should think about creating another stream? When would a good opportunity, a good strategy be for them to create another stream, and why having multiple streams is important.
So, I mean, the multiple streams is important because of what I had referenced previously about you basically hedge yourself against whatever's happening, right? So, we just went through the great resignation, which means from a staffing side, having a company that is in the staffing industry, we could have really suffered. We could have really, from an income perspective, been at effect to what was happening in the larger market. By also having a real estate portfolio at the exact same time that the great resignation was happening, and we could have, potentially seen a down in our income there. Having a real estate portfolio in this, real estate market is surging from a rents, from a home cost. We could have hedged what we could have been losing here
Mm-hmm.
with profits and revenue that we could have been making here, right? So that is why it's important to have multiple streams of income, is because, and to have them in a diversified way, because it helps you basically manage the uncertainties of life, right? Like the things that are completely outside of our control, and the things that we are going to be at effect to in the market, in the economy, in the political side of things, the weather, whatever it is. Like, there are plenty of things in life that we are going to be at effect to. And so when you think about, like, where do I even start, right? How do I even get myself on the way to a multiple stream of income, and what is the best way to develop those? Like I said earlier, over diversifying too soon can actually be more of a hindrance, because you have so little invested in each little pot that you can't realize significant gains, right? So if you think about like stock, if you have just a few pennies in, 100 different stocks versus $100 in one stock, yes, it is more risky because you're just in the one stock, but you have the potential of realizing a lot more gains if that stock pops off. So for people that are considering, like, where do I get started with multiple streams of income, or what's even, the first step that I take, or how many streams should I have? I would just say, sit down and look at what's right in front of you. If you have a 9 to 5 job and it is reliable and consistent, and that is your primary stream of income, consider what one more stream could be, right? So
Are
could
you
it
saying are you saying one more stream off of that, or just one more additional stream in general?
Yeah, so one more additional stream. It could be, if you're not already investing in your 401k, start investing in that, right? If you're interested in real estate, could you pick up a property and rent it out? You don't even have to pick up physical property. You could go on to, there's tons of different apps where you can do like the partial investment. It's kind of crowdfunding for real estate. There's a million apps out there. You can look them up. So if you're wanting to dip your toe in the real estate model, but you're like, I don't have 20% down to put on an investment property, like, that's a lot of money. Just use $1,000, $2,000, $5,000, and invest it into one of those, those apps, those portfolios, similar to how you can buy fractions of stock
Yeah,
now.
you can buy fractions of real estate.
You
Yep.
buy fractions of real estate, yeah. That could now be an investment opportunity. If you're not already in the stock market, or independent of what you might have in the stock market for a retirement account, start taking advantage of, some of those brokerage accounts, getting onto the ones where you can buy fractions of stock. Or, I mean, if you want to do a side hustle, if you want to drive for Uber, if you want to do DoorDash, if you want to start your own business, if you want to professionalize one of your hobbies, you want to sell stuff on Etsy, like, there's a number of different ways to start that first stream of income. And once you get that one going, then it's literally the exact same conversation. Okay, now I've got 2 streams of income. I've got my 9 to 5, and I sell door signs on Etsy. Okay, I've got that going. Now I want to take the extra money from my 9 to 5, or the extra money from selling door signs on Etsy. Now I'm going to invest in real estate, or now whatever it is. It looks different for everybody. But I think following what you feel called to, like real estate has been a hobby of mine and my husband's for a long time. And so it was easy for us to jump into that. It's an interest that we have anyways. But whatever that looks like for you, that's what I would say go towards.
So Chandra has a couple of questions.
Yes.
Her first question, she may have missed, and you don't have to. You can answer this one on the backside, but she had a question about what different active incomes that you have, but you can answer that on the backside of this question, um, which I think is pretty cool. So as a couple, did you guys both start off on the same page wanting multiple streams, or did one person influence the other person?
One person influenced the other person. Um, my husband took initially he took more of the corporate route. So he worked for Apple for 5 years. And basically his additional stream of income in the corporate side was they have a stock purchase plan. And this is another thing. If you work anywhere that is actively traded on the stock market, so if you work at Costco, if you work at Google, Apple, Facebook, Abbott, it doesn't matter. If they are actively traded on the stock market, it is very likely that you have the opportunity to partake in either the stock purchase plan or to get RSUs, restricted stock units. That is a stream of income for you. Okay. So a stock purchase plan typically is that a company will let you as an employee allocate a portion of your paycheck towards purchasing their stock. Sometimes you can do it at a discount. That was the case for my husband. They were able to purchase it at about a 20% discount. So he was actively investing 10% of his paycheck to purchase Apple stock at a 20% discount. So it's like 10% is usually an amount that you'll probably never miss. You know, if you're making $300 on a paycheck, $30 taken out of that is probably something that you don't rely on. But even if it is, you can minimize that. You can do 1%, you can do 5%. The point here is that they're letting you get access to something at a discount, that so you're going to have automatic equity, automatically invested the moment that that purchase is made. So you're already realizing gains, with money that you may not have used or invested otherwise. So he started that way. Additionally, he had the 401k. So that was kind of his focus. And it really wasn't until honestly a few years into our real estate portfolio that we understood what we were doing was developing multiple streams of income, right? So, as a dual income household, I had the business, he was working at Apple. I did eventually end up recruiting him away from Apple. So we became,
So
that.
you recruit your husband away from Apple to work together.
Yes, I did.
Did you double his income or did you match it? What was your negotiation tactics?
So the negotiation there was really related to time, freedom, and flexibility.
Mm.
So, being a self employed business owner, I was able to take trips. I could take my work on the road. We could go on vacations. I could attend family events, holidays, things like that. Where with him in the corporate structure, he was handcuffed to going into work, a workplace, a job setting that was very restricting. And so for me, it was, I haven't worked this hard to have this type of freedom for my partner to have to be stuck back behind, right? Like, so it was 2017 when he left Apple. He'd been there for 5 years, and I recruited him away with a few things. I did match his salary, but the more important thing was our business was now able to offer health benefits. So
Mm.
that was one of the reasons he stayed at Apple, was my company wasn't in a place yet to have health benefits. And you know, that's
Oh, so
additional.
once you put that health benefit package together, it was like it got more attractive.
Okay, okay,
He's
you
like,
know.
oh, okay, I see you. You ain't just an entrepreneur. You got the health package too. Okay.
So I was telling him, no more commute. You can work from home. I'll match your salary. I've got health benefits,
Ooh,
you
look
know?
at that. Look at that.
Yeah.
And you get to spend more time with me.
And I don't know if that was a perk or.
Yeah, I dig it. I dig it. So we got another question. This one is not pertaining specifically to multiple streams of income, but this is a question pertaining to what you do, right? So maybe you'll be able to help help this community member. This one's coming from Whitney. And then maybe, this is a conversation that you guys can have outside of imperfect action. She asks, sports medicine. I'm
Mhm.
35 with a right labral hip tear, former basketball athlete, had SCFE surgery at 10. Having a lot of pain. I've seen a couple of doctors. They recommended a hip replacement. What are your thoughts?
Mm. What area are you in? What area?
She's in California, in LA.
Okay. Honestly, DM me. I will get you in touch with a phenomenal athletic trainer that does private concierge service out in LA. I would say get an evaluation from someone besides get an evaluation from someone that doesn't benefit from you having surgery.
That's
See
a
if
good
there's a way to get active movement or sometimes some type of rehabilitation or physical activity that can prevent or put off that hip that basically total hip replacement. It's possible that you may need that, but at 35, I mean, if you can at least put it off for another 10 to 15 years, that would be ideal. So DM me, I'll put you in touch with someone.
Yeah, make sure you guys follow Alicia. I just put her Instagram handle in the chat. So I want to make sure you guys have all the questions answered. We're pretty much at the time. I only like to have these imperfect action shows for like 30 minutes. Are there any more questions? Please drop them in the chat. I want to give.
I wanted to answer Chandra's first question, which was
Yes. I was going to circle back to that, but yeah, go
my.
ahead.
So actively, we have 3 businesses: a staffing company, an education company. So the education company, similar audience to the staffing. It is athletic training and higher education, so university specific. And then we also have a business mentorship and consulting business. So 3 primary businesses. Those are our active streams of income. Passive streams of income would be our retirement accounts, our brokerage accounts, which are basically stock market investments. We also have a real estate portfolio, and we have a bunch of different things invested in stock market. So there's retirement and brokerage, but they kind of splinter off into some other options too. But so those would be the primary ones.
So, Alicia, real quick, please let people know if they want to get in contact with you, if they want to work with you, if they just want to find, maybe they just need some conversations like a discovery call, some strategy. Like me, I'm interested in what you got going on with your husband. I love the fact that you guys are building a business together, things like that.
Totally.
So maybe that's something that they want to know. How
Yeah.
can they get in contact with you, and how can they get access to what you guys offer?
Yeah. So 2 primary ways. If you go to my Instagram, it's Alicia MP. So ITSALISHAMP. Follow me on there. We share a lot of information, but also on there, the link in my bio, we have a weekly newsletter. A weekly email series where we share information about how to take next steps in your business. And we cover multiple streams of income to, should I trademark my business or, so every week on Thursdays at 4 p.m., we send out a weekly email series. So join it there. That's a great way to get passive information from us and just to stay in touch with us. Otherwise, penningtonperspective.com is our website for the consulting and mentorship side of business. But I hang out in the DMs. So feel free to DM me, introduce yourself. No question is off limits. You can ask me anything. I'm an open book. So anything that you want more information on, more clarity on, feel free to DM me, and I can always direct you to resources from there as well.
So parentingperspective.com. I dropped it in the chat. It will also be in a caption below. If you miss it, if you're watching the replay, make sure you just scroll down and get that. Alicia, I really appreciate you being available and coming on the platform again. Like I said, you're definitely one of my favorite people that I have yet to meet in real life, but we're going to solve that problem shortly. So yeah, thanks again for making some time to be in episode 60 on the Imperfect Action Show. And yeah, we will always reserve a space for you here and things like that. So
Appreciate
guys, make sure that you tap in, follow it's Alicia MP. If there were some questions you didn't want to make public, if there's some additional questions you want to ask her, jump in the DMs, get familiar. Maybe
Yeah.
you want the mentorship. Maybe you just want to know her thoughts on A, B, or C. Maybe you want to ask how she's, doing what she's doing and being a parent and being an entrepreneur
Yep.
and just all the great things they got going on in real estate. Maybe you want to know that stuff. Jump into the DM, figure it out. And like I said, I will put down the Pennington Perspective right there below in the chat. This has been another Imperfect Action Show, episode 61 coming up tomorrow. And Alicia, thanks again.
Thank you so much, Brendan. Appreciate it.
All right. See y'all soon.